Welcome to the Homeschool Paradigm Podcast. I'm Angela, and today I am here with my daughter Sarah. Rachel isn't with me because she's on a beach vacation with her husband, so we'll have to catch her next time. But Sarah is going to introduce herself really briefly here.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a life coach for young adults who have anxiety and want to go and live their dreams anyway.
And I was thinking that we would
Oh,
have Sarah coach me as if I am a worried, anxious homeschool mom. So
that's fun.
she's super excited to do
Never
that.
seen that before.
Well, when I was worried and anxious, you were too young to remember. And then by the time you're old enough to remember, I just wasn't. So,
Yeah,
all right. So, should we just get started? And we're gonna, well, I'm gonna be
yeah,
role
let's do it.
playing. Sarah will be in her actual role.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you ask me what's wrong? How do you start a session when you coach?
I mean, I can ask you what would you like coaching on today?
Oh, okay. Well,
That's
here
how
it
I
is.
start.
I am, I have three kids and I'm feeling like I need to pull them out of public school, but I'm super anxious and worried about doing that because I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I just have no idea. I will fail them and I won't know what curriculum to use and I can't figure it out because there's a million choices out there and all the reviews say everything is great and everything is terrible and I'm not sure I can give them what they need. And so I'm totally freaking
Okay.
out.
Okay. Well, you mentioned that you were feeling anxious. So, why do you think you're feeling anxious when it comes to pulling your kids or the decision to pull your kids from public school?
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to mess them up, I guess.
Okay, what do you mean by that when you say I'm going to mess them up?
Well, maybe that I can't give them a good enough education, or like I don't know everything. And so I feel like I'm afraid to try and teach them because we're going to miss things. And it's a bunch of fear, I think. I think because it's just unknown. I just don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. So, when you're thinking about your decision to pull your kids from public school and you're thinking I'm going to mess them up and you feel anxious, what do you do?
I search online for curriculum and I try and read homeschool group things like, maybe people have a similar question and then other people have answered that question. So I try and read that stuff and try and feel better by other people saying it's going to be okay,
Hmm.
or feel better by
Like
trying to
looking for
figure out,
reassurance.
looking for reassurance and also trying to figure out what curriculum to use.
Okay. Are there like when you're feeling anxious because you're thinking I'm going to mess them up, are there other things that you are not doing? Like if you felt totally secure, knew you couldn't mess your kids up, what would you do?
Ooh, if I knew I could not mess them up, I mean, I guess I would just do it. If I knew I couldn't mess them up, I guess I wouldn't feel afraid, but that's how I would feel. What would I do? I guess I would pull them out tomorrow and not keep
You just pull
trying
them
to
out right away.
find, yeah, just right away and not keep trying to find the right curriculum or get all my questions answered. Because if I
Hmm.
couldn't mess them up, then I could probably figure out stuff on the way instead of having to.
Right. So you're saying that currently you're not pulling them out.
Right, I keep waiting because I'm scared and anxious because I
Okay.
don't
So
know
you haven't
what
actually
we're
made the
gonna.
decision yet.
Huh, have I made the decision to pull them out? I feel like I made the decision to pull them out, but I think I can't do it until I get everything settled, till I know exactly what I'm doing.
Hmm.
I would just go ahead and do it if I didn't have to be afraid I was messing
Okay,
them up.
what would that look like to just go ahead and do it?
I
What
don't
do you mean by
know. I
do
don't
it?
think that's why I don't do it because if I pull them out tomorrow, right now I don't know what we would do tomorrow. What would we learn tomorrow? I mean, I kind of feel like the decision is made, but I feel like I have to be ready first.
But you're putting it off.
Putting off pulling them out because I feel like I'm not
Okay.
ready. Even though I'm
Right.
definitely pulling them out, I feel like I'm definitely pulling them out. But maybe I haven't decided completely
Hmm.
because I'm putting it off.
Okay. So the decision to pull your kids out from public school is just a circumstance. It's neutral. It's not good or bad. There's no right or wrong pulling your kids out from school.
Okay.
It's just a decision either way.
Okay.
But then you think I'm going to mess them up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you pull them out, you're possibly going to homeschool and then mess them up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That causes you to feel anxious. And then you're searching for curriculum, you're reading things on Facebook, you're looking reassurance from like outside sources instead of deciding yourself
Right.
what's best for your kids. And then it eventually ends up with you putting off pulling them out.
Right.
So, what are some more things that you maybe don't do when you're feeling anxious because you're thinking I'm going to mess them up?
Okay, so I have not decided what curriculum I'm going to use or haven't decided what to actually teach them or made a plan or a schedule or made filled out the form where I withdraw them from school or anything. I just keep thinking I'm not ready. And then I think that's keeping me from getting ready. I don't know.
You're also kind of going in circles in your head about,
Right.
okay.
So do I just need to take an action?
I want you to recognize first that it's this thought that I'm going to mess them up that's causing all of this stuff. The anxiety, searching for curriculum, reading stuff on Facebook, looking for reassurance, not pulling them out, like delaying pulling them out of school, not deciding on which curriculum, not making a plan or schedule, going in circles in your head about the decision to take them out of school. You're not even acting like it's going to happen.
Okay.
So then
Yeah.
you're kind of just
Right. Like I'm keeping it from happening by not even
You're kind of just
acting like it's
pre
going to
messing
happen.
it up.
Okay. Okay. So you want me to
Because I
recognize
mean,
that the thought that what I'm thinking is causing all of that. It's not. So what is it? If it's the
it's
thought
not pulling your kids from school. Pulling your kids from public school cannot
caused
make
me
you
all that,
anxious
it can't make me anxious. It's what
because you had the thought, I'm going to mess them up in between the decision and the anxiety.
okay. So the thought
So,
I'm going to mess them up caused me anxiety. The fact that I'm
yeah,
pulling them.
I would just look at the things you're thinking. When it comes to deciding to pull your kids from school or not, like either way, if your thought is consistently, I'm going to mess them up, you're going to keep feeling anxious and kind of keep just going in this cycle of anxiety and kind of just
Being stuck.
make it so that you don't have any of the school experience that you want to have.
Okay. So I need to recognize that my thought is causing my anxiety and not the fact whether I pull them
Yeah,
or
because
not.
either way, you can pull your kids from school or not. If you believed that, you were good enough now and good enough for your kids when you do pull them out of school, how do you want to feel about pulling your kids from school?
I want to feel excited.
And do you want to pull your kids from school?
Yes.
Okay. If that's the plan, what do you want to think about yourself or your kids or your homeschool when it comes to taking them out of public school instead of I'm going to mess them up?
Oh, I want to think that I'll be able to figure out whatever they need and they'll be happier and the situations at public school we won't have to deal with them and we'll just be more relaxed.
So let's pick, I'll be able to figure out what they need.
Okay.
Do you, like, how believable is that thought, like on a scale of 1 to 10?
Hmm. Well, some days it's higher than other days.
Okay. What is it right now?
So maybe 7.
Okay. If you were going to think, you mentioned you wanted to feel excited instead of anxious.
Hmm.
Does that thought, I'm gonna know what they need, or I'm gonna be able, what did you say?
I'm
What was
going to
the
be
thought?
able to figure out what they need
Or yeah, let's go with that. How does that thought, I'm going to be able to figure out what they need, how does that make you feel?
about it.
Okay.
I feel less anxious about that than I feel when I think that I'm gonna mess them up for sure.
Okay, so when you're thinking that, I'm going to be able to figure out what they need and you feel calm, then what do you do?
Well, I might even do the same kinds of things, like look at different curriculum and stuff. I won't be doing it because I'm afraid. Well, then
Yeah,
it would just be research and I could probably
research.
think more clearly. and actually be able to pick one or decide what to
So you
teach
think you'd be able
them.
to like pick your curriculum or decide what to teach them?
I probably can. Yeah, I could probably do that if I'm not all anxious about it. If I'm not afraid to pick one and not another one or whatever. And if
Okay,
not
and then
afraid.
what are some things that you're not doing when you're feeling calm because you're thinking I'm going to be able to figure out what they need?
Well, I probably wouldn't lay awake at night being afraid or worried, or I think it seems like it'd be more like things I'm not feeling, like I'm not feeling afraid or freaked out.
Okay, so what do you think your result would be in this case from all those things?
Oh, I could probably calm down, pick a curriculum, and then feel like I could pull them out of school.
You would pull them out of school?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and maybe I don't even have to pick
Okay.
one before I pull them
So
out.
I guess my question is, why are you deciding to think I'm going to mess them up when what you really want to do is pull them out? You have a different thought here. Like I'm going to be able to figure out what they need and that would make you feel calm.
I guess I didn't realize I was deciding that. I thought it was just
Yeah.
I thought it was just how I feel about it.
Yeah, so the crazy thing is we have a lot of thoughts throughout our day and we just think that they're fact. So like the thought of you messing them up is making you really anxious. And I think sometimes a lot of the time I think for homeschooling, I'm pretty sure that's like a pretty common thought. That
Yeah.
moms are afraid they're going to mess their kids up. I've heard that a lot growing up. My mom is always reading like
Yeah.
comments
We've
from Facebook.
we've heard that a lot from a lot of people.
Yeah. Um, and I think that even just hearing that and then going, hearing that as a kid and then going to being a life coach has made me think about, all the thoughts that people think, especially homeschool parents with they think they're going to mess their kids up when it's crazy they have this like really cool opportunity to take their kids from school and even the opportunity to do that I feel like is so cool because just being
Mhm.
able to a lot of parents aren't able to
Yeah.
and like this mom has the opportunity to do that and she's just choosing to think that she's going to mess her kids up when in reality she might have everything she needs and she does have everything she needs because she has these kids to be able to do it like I think that and you think that
Yeah.
but she keeps choosing to think I'm going to mess them up and I don't think I'm it's not like a judgment on this mom but it's also like if she just realized that she could pick a different thought like I'm going to be able to figure it out like at
Right.
least just that
She lets her
would
fear convince
calm
her
feeling
that,
calm is available to her even though like she can still be uncertain about what it's going to look like because nobody knows what it's going to look like until they start
right.
but if she has this thought then feeling more calm is at least available to her in that way so
Right. And then she can get more done. Yeah, for sure. It's hard to get anything done when you when you're all anxious and freaking out and
yeah
believing things that make you scared. Yeah.
yeah so I guess if I were this person or if I was Um, I would honestly ask her the question, can she believe in herself even when she doesn't know what it looks like?
hmm
Believe in herself enough to at least think I'm going to be able to figure this out.
Right.
And I guess if
Or
if the answer is no,
even just maybe I could
right.
figure this out. Yeah.
Yeah, and even if the answer is no, I would say that like just exploring that and just thinking that thought consciously more often is
hmm
going to be able to give her that like feeling of calm that she wants and more confidence in her decision either way.
Right.
You could just even like play with it. Like I like to just kind of think thoughts and sometimes even just write them down and be like, "Oh, this kind of helps me feel this way." And so I would just honestly like pick an emotion, decide what you want to feel about, your homeschool or whatever,
hmm
and pick a thought that you think would elicit that emotion. It's not super hard. It's just takes
Oh,
practice.
that's fun. That sounds like fun. So you could do that. Write down pick an emotion that you want and write down some thoughts that could lead to that. Also, I like to tell people just to dump out all their thoughts, like a thought download or whatever it's called, where
Mm-hmm.
you just write down all the every bit of junk you're thinking about something, and then what? Well,
Well, and
first
I
of all,
think
kind of
that's easier sometimes too if you want to be more intentional about what you're thinking. I think it's much easier and good to just write down all the thoughts that you currently have before you can even think of thoughts that you want to think, because then they're not all in the way. So,
Right. So
yeah,
when
I think
you
writing them down, getting all of them out is a really good idea.
when you do that, getting them out is useful, but also is it helpful to go through there and like so if I'm feeling scared or anxious or upset or confused or whatever it is, and I write down all the thoughts I'm
Mhm.
thinking, does it help to try and find the one that I think is causing the biggest problem, or is that not that
No,
big a
you
deal?
can. I think I mean, doing it with like a life coach, doing it with me is like different, where I'm like trying to pick out one and trying to help you with what I think is like the issue in your
Uh-huh.
head.
Right.
But I think when it's just you don't have a coach or anybody to really talk to. I think just getting them all out. You don't have to hash through and figure out what is the one that's causing you the most pain. I
Oh,
think
okay.
that
Okay.
just writing them down and getting gets them out enough for you to be like, okay, that's ridiculous. Because
Yeah.
sometimes you have some pain around a thought and you're like, okay, maybe I need to spend some more time on this. And other times somebody like a coach might be like, okay, this is ridiculous. You're not going to mess them up. You know what you're doing. You're a
Right.
competent adult who's gotten this far, and I'm going to tell you to just move on and think something else, right?
Do coaches say this is ridiculous?
Sometimes they're
Okay.
like, okay, this is nonsense. My trainer, my teacher, or whatever you want to call her, Brooke Castillo, she's like, sometimes you'll just be like, this is absolutely nonsense. And other times you'll have to spend longer on it. But yeah, sometimes they'll be
Sometimes
like,
you have to be nicer.
this is, yeah, she's kind of mean. She's really good, but sometimes
She
she's
gets
like,
it
this is
done.
ridiculous. You can stop thinking this. You have permission, and then you
Yeah.
just move on.
Sometimes you do just need permission.
But
Okay, so
yeah,
that was fun. So dumping out your thoughts is a good place to start then when you're feeling all crazy and anxious.
yeah.
So,
And then honestly just realize that they are just thoughts. They're real, they're just thoughts. I was gonna say even if they feel real, they're definitely very real, but they're just thoughts. They're not true. I
they're
would
not
say they're not
necessarily a
all
fact,
true.
right? Okay. Well, thank you so much for the coaching session. And
Yeah, that was fun.
Sarah's open for coaching. We can put a link to her Instagram or whatever.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff on my Instagram, so if you want to see what
Okay.
I do, then it'll be
Okay.
there.
Yeah, we'll put a link under the video for that. All right. Thank you, Sarah, so much.
That was fun.
Thanks for listening.